about having that conversation with your parents about finances. Now we've got to get to the will.
Yeah.
Wills are so important. A lot of people don't have them still.
Yeah.
If your parents do have them, you have to start having that conversation.
Yeah, you do. So the first thing is there needs to have a will that exists.
There needs to be
There
one.
needs to be one. And the operative word here, one.
Just
You
one.
don't want like a couple extra wills lying around. Like, I don't know, I did a new will, this will. I was hating that person on that particular day.
Right.
So this is the will where I wrote them out.
Right.
Don't do that. One will, ideally have a lawyer work on it with you. You can get a will kit, and if that's what you're gonna do, okay.
Yeah.
But it's worth the money to spend to have that done. So it needs to exist. I recommend, depending on the relationship, that the parent and the kids go through the basics of the will.
Okay.
So just here's what's in there. This is what's in there. It's their choice. This is not your estate, it's their estate.
Do you ask them, do you tell them you want to go through it with them?
It depends on the relationship, right?
Yeah.
Like with my mom, I'd ask her anything, but I would want to know so that when it's opened up, there isn't this big surprise, like an episode of, I don't know, Downton Abbey or Dallas, Dynasty, where people are shocked and horrified and their shoulder pads pop off. We don't want that.
No.
We want the people to just know. So what are the expectations? Here's another example. A lot of young people are dealing with the challenges of funding their family and funding retirement at the same time. It's a really hard thing. If they knew in the will that there might be something for them as the estate, or that there's nothing, it could alter how they feel about money today. And some parents might not want their kids to know. They may say, yeah, I'm leaving you $3 million. You are not to know that because you're going to be irresponsible until the day I die.
Yeah.
Other people are like, listen, with retirement, you're going to have 500 grand coming from my estate, and so you should know that so you're not so freaked out about saving for your retirement.
Right.
The other thing I would include in this conversation, even if it's not necessarily in the specifics of the will, are your basic needs, desires on a funeral. And how that relates to personal finance is funerals can be really, really, really expensive. And if your parents say, listen, I want the full thing, I want the mahogany casket, I want a choir of 1,000. Okay, but have they thought about how they're gonna pay for that? Or if they say, listen, I wanna be cremated, scatter my ashes in a lake somewhere, then you don't accidentally spend 20 grand for stuff they don't want.
Right.
So if that's not outlined, then you can be spending money that's inconsistent with what it is that they want.
That's good. I think it's a good conversation to have. If you start having that conversation and things stall, do you just keep chipping away at it?
I would keep chipping away at it because I believe the usefulness is so critical that I would still have it, but you don't want it to be a thing. I mean, some parents, when you have this conversation, their interpretation could be, they want my money. They want my money and they want me to die. Wow. Wow. I can't even believe it. I raised these children and they want to kick me to the curb. So then, you may never be able to have that conversation, but you've tried. I would say then the bulk of the people are somewhere in the middle where they're willing to have the conversation. Better early than late. So if your parents are in their early 60s, have it now. Their life expectancy is probably 80 plus, but have it now so that it's on the Word document somewhere. It's just organized, and then you're not thinking about it if there's a diagnosis or a sudden death.
Once again, it comes from a place of love.
Love!
So the way you communicate it is crucial.